Hey everyone. Oh, my name is Lexus Carabinus and this is the Module 11 reflection. I didn't realize that we needed to do a reflection for this assignment since we did a lesson plan video, and our reflection would be in our lesson plan PDF. But I might as well just do it again because it just said reflection video. Again, as I said in my lesson plan video, please excuse my voice. I lost it over the weekend and I'm trying to get it back. So, some things about my lesson plan is I've done lesson plans before, but it's been some time. Apologies for the camera moving. And the last time I had given a lesson plan to students or fellow groups of friends or classmates, I had the full class period to do it. So I had 50 minutes from the very start of class to the very end of class to present my lesson plan, and we were able to at least start my lesson, as in we did some group activities like doing the sketches I talked about in my lesson, explaining color theory, explaining lines, coming up with concepts, etc. I've done similar projects to what I've done now, but I changed it up a bit for this class with a different concept, kind of. Anyway, but so far I'm still really, really nervous with teaching, and it's making me really think about what grade level I want to teach, as much as I want to teach little kids, and I think it's adorable, and I think it's important to teach and get the foundation of art in every classroom starting at a young age. I also realize that I've been in college not teaching, but learning high-level art that I think everyone just automatically knows, even though I know that's not true. But it makes me almost want to teach middle school or high school and give them college-level type experience. And when they get to college themselves, be like, wow, your instructor really knew what they were talking about. So I'm now kind of in a crossroads of where I want to go. Maybe I can start younger and move up. Maybe I just stay older, or I can just pop around wherever they need me. Who knows? But again, getting back to my lesson today. I was very nervous. My voice thing did not help. I was really concentrating on how I was sounding and that my students could hear me and articulate what I was saying. Although in my head I was clear, like, we're going to talk about the lesson, and then we're going to break up the lesson into sections of the little projects we're going to do in between, some key terms you need to know and understand, and an artist to connect the lesson to. And in a classroom sense, I would show examples of this artist's work, but my students that I have today are classmates of mine, and they all knew exactly who I was talking about because he's that big of a name to us. I'm not necessarily a big fan of him, but we used him because he's useful in what I taught today. The 7 minutes also really constrained me. That's why in the video you hear my phone go off, because I set a timer. And as soon as I went off, I just cut it. I didn't want to do anymore. I'm like, well, that's just my time I ran out. There was no clean start or clean end, but that's just how it happened. I really enjoyed making the lesson plan. It really made me think on how to sound professional and proper with my audience, meaning you guys or my instructors or parents of my students or even my students. So that was really fun for me. I had to really, really think. I had to look through my old education classes to get my art standards and how I need to incorporate every aspect of the classroom in every lesson, if that makes sense. So something I wish I would have incorporated was cleanup time, or making other examples. I had one example, but I feel as though I needed to have more than one. I don't know if I'm nitpicking at that. The technology, that was a big oof on my part. A big oof, I mean, it was kind of a mistake on my part because I thought I had known Kahoot very well. But I know Kahoot on a student level, where I'm just given a code and everything works out. I click the answer, and see the ranking and move on. But as a teacher, I had to make my own Kahoot. I had to come up with the questions for this specific assignment, and I let my students use their phones because we don't have any other technology with us at the moment other than my computer, and I was recording, and it was just a lot of little elements to come up with in a little bit of time. So I let them use their phones, and they kept having, if they looked like they were on their phones, they kept having to refresh to make sure they stayed on the Kahoot that I was on. And apparently we only went through one question, and I thought that screen where it had all of their names, we had just completed it. But then I forgot I made 6 questions for them to answer. So that was a technology error on my end, and I should have run through this assignment before running this into my class. But at the same time, I think what I talked about and their knowledge base already, that they understood, but I need to be realistic, and this lesson is for kids who have not had this class before, or if they've had a little bit of experience, but I need my lessons to be looked at in a way that every substitute can teach this to my students and they will still get the same level of expertise that I'm trying to give them if I were there. So that's my thought on the lesson plan. I really enjoyed this module, and I hope I did well.